much sauce, too much. I've done a case swap before, same car about 15 months ago. It was pretty straightforward and everything seemed to just fall into place. Maybe I was extra careful because it was the first time that I was doing a swap. So I'm currently in the process of pulling the motor, modifying it, and reinstalling. And while it seems like it would be pretty straightforward, things aren't quite falling into place. My daughter was a little under the weather, so I was running back and forth, seeing how she was doing and making sure that she had the stuff that she needed. And somewhere in between with all the back and forth, I ate some fast food and I got food poisoning. So that took me out for a couple days. And trying to make up for time, I ended up rushing, making mistakes, which caused more delays. And long story short, I had to completely backtrack, retrace my steps, and get my bearings and kind of start over with some stuff. Some of these little issues delayed this install by much longer than I anticipated. I realized the shift linkage bracket was busted and wasn't going to make the cut as far as parts that would go back into the car. So I had to get online, look up a replacement part, realize that there was a new and improved part. So I got that on order, waited about a week and a half, and the part arrived. So time to get this all put together and put in the car. So back to the install. Jack up the motor, get it onto the mounts. It was a process that took a little longer than planned just because I was careful not to scratch the wrinkled black finish on the valve cover. So attach the harness and start going through the process of trying to get everything plugged in so that I could get power and calibrate my throttle position sensor. Well, not so fast. I'm using a K-series throttle body, so I had to trim down the end of the throttle cable to get it to fit into the K-series throttle body. And that took a little bit of time, but not too bad. And then I had to make a lot of adjustments in order to get the throttle cable to close the throttle plate at rest. I also missed the part where I needed to unbolt the old shifter cable that's on the upper inside of the firewall tunnel before installing the motor. So
down in
motor's
there,
on the...
I have to, so you see this black cable right here, basically on the roof is something, is a 10 mil nut on each side of it holding it, and I can't get my hand far enough in here to feel. So
motor's on the mounts and tightened down. Time to get the weight off of the motor mounts, loosen everything, and pull the motor back out of the car. So with the motor back out of the car, I reach inside the tunnel and I, loosen the two 10 mil nuts and realize that there's a third. So now I finally got the shifter cable loose. So I zip tie the old and new shifter cables together.
all right, so I got this the old cable zip tied to the new cable, and so I'm about to try to pull the old cable through from the inside, and then as I pull it through, I'll fish the new cable along with it. And if that works, all I have to do is just make sure that the new cable is kind of routed along the driver's side of the well and then along the firewall, and we should be good to go. So let me try that.
So with that done, the new shifter cable is in place and it's just a matter of getting everything attached.
All right, so while doing the install, the first thing that I noticed is this little ball down here at the bottom of the shifter. So I had to lube it up and hammer it in. So lube it up, hammered it in, and it's in there now. And the clips are not in yet because I'm still playing around with the adjustments and stuff. This so far sucks because I believe hammering this ball in is partially what makes this a little stiff. The 25% thicker cable, I believe that makes it stiff. The detent springs and shift selector that I did to this transmission makes it stiff. So all of these different things combined makes this
very hard to move. And the short throw shifter that I did not install was already in the car, so that is third and that is fourth back in neutral. So It's so hard that I go into third and I have to pull so hard to go back to neutral that most of the times I go straight past neutral into fourth. But I can't talk and shift it without, that's how hard I have to push. And that's, I'm sitting on the edge of the seat. I'm not actually in the seat. Let me put my butt actually down in the seat, and my back is, so that is a lot of force to get it over into first, to get it just over. Like I'm literally pushing with my arms as if I'm doing pec flies. So all the way over, chest engaged, and bench press, decline bench press, and that's first. WTF. So once again, first, second, and it didn't. Third, well, it was there. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. And while messing around with the shifter, I noticed that I could hit the first and second gate, third and fourth gate, fifth and sixth gate, but I could not hit reverse. So as much as I moved around and tried to push it all the way over to the right and down, I could not reach reverse. All right, so I guess my shifter cable has seen better days. I thought I could save it, continue to use it, but what I realized is that, if I can get my hands under there, it's starting to fray, and that's causing the shift to from the gates, so going left to right, it's causing it to not have a very solid feel. So when that's a better look. So when I go back and forth, left and right, this is just kind of flopping around. It doesn't want to engage reverse. So what I'm hoping is this part comes in soon. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this video. I did not make the progress I expected due to the issues with the shifter cables, the throttle cable. In the next video, I'll get those issues resolved, and I'll also be trying to figure out how to get power on with the motor out so I can calibrate the throttle position sensor before mounting the engine, since the taller intake manifold positions the sensor into the firewall. That's going to be fun. Hope you enjoyed the video. If so, drop a like, leave your comments down below, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.